Okay, Bismillah. Okay, folks, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go through some of the homework questions that the students were sent last week. Some of the students have done the homework with a calculator, even though you can see quite clearly here there's a picture of with a calculator, the line going through it. And we done in the lesson without a calculator. And we made videos, and all the videos were done without a calculator. But some students, mashallah, tabarakallah, they are so, what should I say, grade A star caliber, they've done it with a calculator. Never mind. Let's have another look at the question. Sponsored by? Okay, right, let's get started that giving it away. Question number 1. We have root 7 times by root 7. Now, when we do root 7 times by root 7, ladies, we can make this product can become, when you're multiplying 2 thirds, we can put it as 1 third. Okay? So that's what the rules allow us. Now, 7 times by 7 is, and the square root of 49 is 7. Now, okay, now in this particular question, I've done it the long way just to show you how it works. But really, when you multiply any root by itself, it will simply give you. Oops, I didn't want to do that. It simply gives you the number inside. So root 8 times by root 8 will give you 8, and so on and so on. Okay. Next one, we have root 3 times by root 3. Okay, let's do that one. Mr. Hani, can you please start doing some work? Okay, root 3 times by root 3, it was same as root 3 times by 3, which is same as root 9. 9 is a square number, which gives you 3. Now, next, root 20. So, root 20 contains what numbers, Hani?
2 and 5.
2 and 5. Okay, does it? I thought it contained 4 and 5.
Yeah, but 2 can be.
Yeah, but you missed some out, then you got to do 2 times by 2 times by 5. Yeah, you can have 2 and 5, but you got to put another 2. Now, what do we realize about the 4? The 4 is a square number, that's right. So when you split it up into root 4 times by root 5, that will give you 2 times by root 5, which will simplify to 2 root 5. So that's root 20. Okay, well, I think what we're going to do is just new. Now, okay, let's do root 24. Let's do it nice and beautiful. Root 24. When we split the root 24 into its factors, we split it up in such a way that we're putting out square factors. We're looking for square factors. So root 24 is the same as what? What's the square numbers in 24?
1 and 2. 12 and 2.
Okay, none of them are square numbers. 4 and 6. So we rewrite 24 as 4 times by 6. And what do we know about 4? 4 is our square number. Lovely. So now that can be split into what? Now we can split this root up into 2 pieces. That's what we're allowed to do when we multiply. So root 4 and root 6. Now, let's work out what that gives us. Oops, I want that red, and then go back to brush. Okay, and do this. Gonna come off there. Okay, Mr. Honey, have you got that down? Or are we still not? Are we doing this in your book?
Yeah.
Where?
Okay.
You're just doing ticks at the moment, Mr. Honey. Okay, Mr. Honey, it's a bit difficult for you to try to pull the wool over my eyes, especially when you're sitting right in front of me and I can see you. Come on, Mr. Honey, please. Give your teacher a bit more credibility than I, yeah? Where's the book? Use the book, class book? So root 4 will give us, what's the square root of 4, folks? 2. And root 6, will that give us anything? No? So we just rewrite that as 2 root 6, finished. So the root of 24 can be simplified into 4 times by 6 root of. Then we can split it, then we can square root it, and that gives us 2 root 6 for number 24. Let's do 72 now. Okay, root 72. Now root 72, now we're looking for square numbers within root 72, and the one that comes to mind is 36, the biggest one. And 36 times by 2. Always put the square number 1 at the front, When we split it, okay, I'll leave that there as well. Brush, that's a brush. Now, so root 36. So what I've done now is split it up. So I'm showing you each step. So number 72 is really 36 times by 2. 36 is our square number. And then we have, you split them apart. Now the root of 36 will give you a nice and lovely what? 6, because it's a square number. And root 2 will stay as? Root 2. And that's the end of that question. Are we happy with that, Mr. Hani?
Yeah.
Are we doing some work now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's have a look at root 200 now together. Root 200. What square number can anybody spot on the number 200? Number 200, Mr. Harun, consists of what? Okay, let me just pause the video. So we don't know.
Michael.
Okay, so the root of 200 works out to be the root of 100 times by 2, yeah? And then we split them up. And the root of 100 is a square number. 100 is a square number. So the root of 100 gives you a nice and simple what?
10 root 2.
10 root 2. Okay, are you happy with that, Ifra, yeah? Nice and straightforward, isn't it? Okay, so them are those questions. What we got left now on that side? Let's have a quick look at the question number 2 now. Let's bring that up to the top. Can everybody see question number 2?
So you know the homework you know.
Hang on. Oh, well, back to life. Root 2 times by 8, root 18. So we're looking at question number 2 over here now, please. Right from your homework. Okay, right. Let's have a go. Now, root 2 stays as it is. Now, root 18 can be split into what? Now, what square numbers do we have in root 18? Okay, so we can have, for example, root 2 first of all.
9 and 2.
Times by root
9.
9. And the root 2 from here can be copied down from above. Are we happy with that? Now, I'll put the root 2 and the root 2 next to each other on purpose. Because, why? Because any root time by itself will give you what? Will give you the number inside it. Because root 2 times by root 2 is root 4. Root 4 is just 2. Now, what is root 9? Remember, root 9 is a square number.
3.
So that'll give you 3. So 2 times by 3 is 6. Lovely. Root 99. Root 99 sounds like some kind of motorway. So we put first of all here root 9 times by root 11 times by root 11 times by root 2. Okay, Mr. Hani, can you see why I put the root 11s next to each other? Because they will help us to simplify into just 11. And the root 9 will give us what? 3. And the root 2 will give us what?
Root 2.
Root 2. That won't do anything else. So 3 times by 11 will give us?
Root 2.
33 root 2. Are we happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to think about what you want to get out of it. In 22, you have 11 in there. 11 is not a. Normally, I say to you, find the square factors, but I haven't found the square factors in 22. But I'll still factorize it because the root 11 will help the other root 11. Okay. So now we have root 28 times by root 175. Now let's have a look. What's root 28 go inside it?
14.
Okay, that won't help us. You got to think about square numbers.
4 and 7.
4 and 7, yeah? Okay, let's put the 4 here. So root 4 times by root 7. Now in 175, how many 25s do you have in there?
7.
7. So I purposely put the root 7s next to each other. So honey, what will happen to the root 7s then?
7.
Root 7 times by root 7 will give us 7. Root 4, that's a square number. 4 is a square number. So the root of a square number will give it 2. And then root 25 will give us 5. So root 2 times by, well, basically it's like saying 10 times by 7, which will give us
17.
17. So we got to play clever with this, how we factorize it, trying to get the right numbers out. Okay, let's move on to question number 3 now. Go. Right, we got root 3. Now let's spend some time multiplying out these. So we got root 3 times by 3 will give us what? 3 root 3. We got root 3 times by minus root 3. So minus root 3 times by root 3. Now let's do some simplifying. This won't simplify, stay the same. A root term by itself will give you the number inside. So the answer will be 3 root 3 minus 3. Next. Okay. Root 7 times by 2 will give us what? 2 root 7. Root 7 times by 3 root 7 will give us what? 3 root 7 root 7. Okay, now let's simplify them. 2 root 7, our rule will stay as? Won't change. The root 7s will give you what?
7.
And then 3 times by 7. So it'll be 2 root 7 add 21. Done. Honey, are you happy with that?
Yeah.
You sure? So when you multiply this one out, root 2 times by root 32 is root 2 times by, take away, root 2 times by root 8. Now, what do we, oops, that should be 32. Yeah, sorry, thank you for that. 32. Now, what factors are in 32?
40.
We got 4 and, or we got 2 and 16. Now, I'll say 2 for a particular reason. I'll show you why in a second. So we've already got root 2 here. And then if you split this one up into a root 2 and a root 16, that will help us because these two roots will combine together. Now, minus root 2, root 8, will that give you? Root 2 times by root 8 is the same as what? Root 16. So let's have a look. Let's do some simplifying. So root 2 times by root 2 will give us 2. Root of 16 will give us 4. Root of 16 will give us 4. So 2 times by 4 will give us, and 8 minus 4 will give us 4. Okay, so when we multiply them out. Now,
So what is it? What time do we finish today?
okay, I'm going to give you a chance to do some of these questions now yourselves. Okay, so question number 4, I'm going to pause the video now and give you a chance to do them, then I'll do them. Okay, we're going to record now, folks, we're going live. Okay, here we go. Right, so Mr. Hani, how much of this have you done so far?
I don't get the working now.
Okay, let's have a look at them. Mr. Hani doesn't get it yet.
I'm gonna flop this.
Okay, so we have 1 times by 1, really hard question, which is
10.
well done, Haru. And we have 1 times by minus root 2 is
7.
minus 2. Plus root 2 times by 1 is plus root 2. Okay, Mr. Hani, are we doing the questions even when I'm doing them?
No, I'm doing it.
You are. Good, inshallah. And then we have plus root 2 times by minus root 2 will give us what? Minus root 2, root 2. Okay, did you get that right, Mr. Saf?
Yes.
Yes, okay, good, yeah? Okay, Mr. Hani, can you concentrate on the question and not on your...
So what does that say? Minus root 2 and what?
Minus root 2, root 2.
Oh, no.
Now, minus root 2 and plus root 2 will cancel each other out. Now, minus root 2 times by root 2, when you have a root term by itself, will give you the number inside. So that will give you minus 2. So the answer will be minus 1. Okay, Mr. Hani, if you think I don't know what you're doing, I do know exactly what you're doing. So can we focus on the task that we are doing, that we're supposed to be helping you with, rather than the task that you are doing at the moment? Okay. Next. Okay, Mr. Hani, are we focused on the multiply on the next question? You haven't finished the first one yet, Hani. Can we focus on the task of the session, yeah? I will be giving an in-depth report to your mother at the end of the session. I'm sure she'll be more than happy to hear such a lovely report. So we have root 5 times by root 5. Root 5 times by root 5 will give us? That's right. Root 5 times by root 5 will give you just 5. Yeah. Because the number inside. As a root term by itself will give you the number inside. Yeah. Yeah. Root 5 times by plus 1 will give you? Plus root 5. Minus 3 times by root 5 will give you? Minus 3 root 5. Minus 3 times by plus 1 will give you? Minus 3. Now, we said earlier that root 5 times by root 5 is 5. Okay, and then we have a minus 3 over here. Now, plus root 5, what's in front of the plus root 5 here? What's in front of it? 1. What's 1 root 5 minus 3 root 5?
2 root 5.
Minus 2 root 5. Because I have 1 root 5 and I owe you 1 root 5. Now, what's 5 take away 3? 2. Now, root 6 minus 3 squared. Explain to us what does that mean when it says squared. Does it mean, well, a lot of students think it means times by 2.
No.
So the 2 doesn't mean times by 2. What does it mean?
Times by itself.
Times by itself. So we're going to have here now, well done, Saf. Root 6 minus 3 times by root 6 minus 3. So now we have to multiply that bracket by itself. Are you happy with that, Ifra? Is that good? Yeah? Now we're going to multiply that. So we got root 6 times by root 6. Just write that as root 6, root 6. It's product. Root 6 times by minus 3, which will give you what? Minus 3 root 6. And then another?
Minus 3 root 6.
And then minus 3 times by minus 3 will give us? Whoa. Now, when we do root 6 times by root 6, any root time by itself will give you the number inside. Minus 3 root 6 and minus 3 root 6, unlike what most students think, it doesn't give you nothing. It gives you?
Minus 6 root 6.
Minus 6 root 6. Okay, now the 6 and the 9 will simplify and give us what? 15. And we finish that question. Okay, now the question 5 was really much more like an extension style question. We've done question 1, we've had a question 2 and 3 and 4. I really want to move on to the rationalizing the denominator on the next page, in this clip now. Just give me one moment while I just organize myself over here. I think it was that page, that's the one. Let me just reduce it again. There we go. That's looking good. Right, let's have a new page over here. Right, and we can stop that.